63, climb maintain 13,000.
13,000, Tempo 63.
63, contact the New York Center, 128.3.
28-3, just with 63, good day.
On Approach is a flight sim and aviation enthusiast podcast featuring the week's top user-submitted stories and news. From the SkyLounge.tv, welcome to another show, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Who do we have here?
Hello.
Who are you people in these bubbles?
Who is me? Me name is Maple Syrup Can.
Yes. Looking good there in some nice colored lights.
Yes, I bought some LED strips, put
Oh,
under
yeah?
my monitor. So that's kind of a bounce of light that I get. Right now you can see I'm casting kind of a shadow.
So are they behind your monitor?
Under my monitor.
Under?
Yeah.
Nice.
Bouncing on the table. Yeah.
Ah, clean. Mr. Spark Smudge in the house.
Hello, miss.
Hello, miss.
Hey,
How are you, bro? Good, good, good.
I've got a bit of a dicky throat today, so I've got a bit of a swollen glands thing going on. Hopefully, it's not a sign of me getting sick, but
Ooh.
I'm good.
Sick note.
Sick note. That's
You can be sick note, bro. You can be sick note. That's it, bro.
You know what it's like? You know when you've got it feels like you got a frog in your throat.
Yeah.
It's kind of you're kind of swollen at the sides. That's what I am at the moment. So
I've had that for the past
we'll
2
see how it
months. It feels like.
you have that permanently.
Yes, indeed. All right, T-shirt time. What do we got going on? Starting at the bottom, Sparky, what you got?
It's a vintage retro T-shirt. Throwback to the Dovetail Flights in World days. You know, I like my vintage T-shirts.
All right. Still fits.
It's a little smaller. It did shrink a little bit, but it's still comfortable.
I'd say Flight Sim World shrunk a lot.
Yeah, it did. it had so much potential. It had so much potential.
It did.
I'll
Really
tell you what,
did.
Sparky. If you need a large one, I got one for you.
Ah, there we go.
Because I saw this morning in my closet. And I was like, interesting. Let me wear this for the show tonight.
Amazing.
Same wavelength, man. On the same wavelength.
Amazing.
Yeah, totally
What
at random.
What do you got, Edson?
Kikkoman.
You see, Edson, didn't you just lose your job?
I did.
And do you know you should never kick a man when he's down?
I did.
Kikkoman, is that soy sauce?
It's soy sauce,
Soy
bro. I
sauce.
love soy sauce.
It's the best soy sauce, though. It is the best soy sauce.
But the thing with Kikkoman is, like, sometimes, well, I've never seen this really outside of the Bay Area. But in the Bay Area, when you go to a Chinese restaurant, you have two versions of Kikkoman. You have the red top, and you have the green top. Yeah, okay, so it's common now, like, all around?
Yeah, there's a salty and non-salty one.
Yeah, it's like a salty, non-salty. Why would you want non-salty? That's like the magic of soy sauce.
Yeah, it's very salty though, so some people care about their bloodstreams.
Yeah, I suppose so. Gotta get
salt
salty.
intake. Salt intake is a big topic of discussion in the health world. You know, all these companies have been told to cut down on their salt content and sugar content stuff. So I guess it's a big thing. You know, they're just covering their asses. They're covering their asses, aren't they? They're saying, well, you've got the option.
Yep, you've got the options. It's completely up to you. All right, so are we live? I think we are live now. I think. I've not been able to
live.
check.
We
We're
are
live.
indeed.
Cool, we're live. So, developments for the week. Well, number one, only 1 week has passed, and we meet again.
Yes, we're here again at stupid o'clock in the bloody morning. It's
Bravo to the live format for that. The ability for us to just record and we're done. pretty damn cool.
Yeah. No editing, so you don't have to stay up late and miss work the day after.
Yeah, it's like shut up. There's no work to miss.
Let's not confuse people. There is still work to be done after the show because we're still going to do thumbnails. We're still going to do bits and pieces. There are still tidying up and admin things still to do. It's just not as much as doing a pre-recorded show.
We're going back to the other format where we edit and edit and edit. That's not a problem. I have 5 days a week to edit now. It's not even a big deal.
You're just going, nope.
Yeah, pretty much. Nope. Exactly. So yeah, developments of the week, man. Pretty crazy. I lost my job. Got laid off.
That sucks balls, man.
That's
the worst feeling. That's the worst feeling in the world, especially when it's not your decision.
Yes.
I mean, if you were saying, you know, I'm leaving in a week or I'm leaving at the end of the month, it's a different feeling to actually going into work and then saying, you know, here's your fucking P45 on your bike.
Yeah, on your bike. Hit the road, Jack. Get on your bike and go. Yeah, no, I wasn't expecting it, although I kind of was in a weird way. Deep down inside, there were vibes of the company going in a weird direction and things shifting. And I think I had even discussed with you guys kind of like some of those vibes that I was getting. And so I was somewhat prepared. Somewhat, right? You're never actually ready for that. It's like having a kid. Ta-da! You're going to have a kid. Here it goes. Surprise. You all of a sudden have to start to deal with things.
At least when you have a kid, Edson, you've got 9 months to prepare.
Right? If I could have 9 months of savings right now, that would be great. Thank you. Yeah, no, for sure, man. I mean, like I told some of the guys on my way out, oddly enough, with my director standing right there, trying to be friendly, I said, there's never a good time for this to happen. Never a good time. However, in the time span of this company, this is the best time for this to happen. And I left it at that. And I said, on that note, I'm out, you guys. Have a great one. Good luck in the future. And I walked away. And that's true, right? Like, I could sense that in the lifespan of this company, now's the better time. Better now than earlier. Better now than later. Now's the time. So, to the future, you know?
To be honest with you, for them just to, on that day, just, that's it, any company worth their salt would give you notice. They will say, look, we're going to let you go, but work the week out or work the end of the month out until your next paycheck, and then, we're going to let you go. But the on the spot, like, get out is harsh. That's real harsh.
It's just not the way here. I don't think it's extremely common to do it that way. Yeah, there was no notice, no heads up, not even a week out. It was just, okay, here's the paperwork. And it was 10:30 in the morning, not even like end of the day or as soon as I walked in. Here's the paperwork and an awkwardness of what next. So I kind of let myself out. Because no one walked me out because everyone knows who I am there. And it was like weird. No one expected it to be me. And a few others, but it is what it is. I am looking forward to...
You're not the only one. You're not the only one that got laid off. There's more going.
I was the only one then. But
right.
I don't want to scare anyone that potentially watches the show. But have your parachutes ready. That's all I could say. But you should always have your parachute ready. You always should.
Yeah.
You always should.
Oftentimes, it's the best jump you'll ever have in your life. You know,
Yeah.
when I look back at all the jobs that I left or got left from, it was always for something better. It was always a push in the right direction for me, kind of a kick in the butt to start my own thing, and to get going on my own. So, yeah, always have your parachute ready. Good advice.
I've only had 3 jobs in my life. I'm 48 now. I've only had 3 jobs in my life. The first 2 jobs were the best jobs I've had. Good paying jobs, professional jobs. The job I got now is what I considered. I'll do this for now until I find something better job, and I'm still fucking there. Fucking 6 years. Well, no, 16 years later, I'm still there. But I never been fired. My first 2 jobs, both companies. The first company folded. They folded up. They ran, financial difficulties or whatever. They folded. And the second company, they moved to Wales, and they actually said to me, "You can come with us if you want." And it's like, fuck that, I'm not moving to Wales.
Gavorkian out there in the chat. Thanks, man. Yeah, definitely. I feel you. I had options. I think that, like I said, there was a new headquarters that spun up that was in a different state, but it was in a state that I didn't want to be in. I mean, we're a California company. We're a Silicon Valley company, started here, grown here, but we got absorbed by a company in a shittier state. And, the future became there. The future stopped being here. For anyone that's still employed there, or anyone that, considers working there, the future isn't at this office anymore like it once was, with innovation, with growth, with anything. That's just the way the cookie crumbles, right? But at the same time, that's exactly what an entrepreneur sets up to do. They who started this company I worked for, the top 3 dogs, moved on together. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they got canned from another company.
Yeah. They moved on already. They moved on just a couple months ago and are already working on another business together. Yeah. That's the cycle of life, man. They did it. They cashed.
Sometimes you do need.
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes you do just need a kick in the arse to get yourself going.
Yeah. So expect cool things. I've got a runway laid out. And I've got to hit V1 and get off that runway before the runway runs out. And so I've taken to the airwaves as a full-time job now. And I'm going to consider that a full-time job. Promo here. Here we go. Twitch.tv/SkyLoungeTV. Go and hit follow. Check the content. I'll be live Monday through Friday. 2 3-hour blocks outside of Sparky's reserve time, and anytime that Kevin or Osflight Simmer go live on the channel, I'll be live there. You can catch me every day. You can catch me. UK people, you can finally catch me. So I'm gonna treat that like a job. I've been, get up, get dressed, do the hair, sit down, and take you all on a journey. It could be a journey into the sky, flying. It could be a journey on the ground, driving. But either way, it's a journey. And I'm going to treat that as work and report in every day. And I think that's the beginning of the future. Outside of that, longer term plan. Let's just say you should all try and get tickets to go to FS Expo in Florida. Let's just say that. I can't say much more than that. But try and make it there. Cool stuff is coming, I promise. Mr. Catalysis, welcome aboard. How's it going, guys? All right, let's get to the news. We're starting off tonight with Mr. Spark Smudge and his top 2. Flight Sim 2019 2-day event confirmed. This one submitted by EM1973 and selected by Mr. Spark Smudge himself. The Flight Sim show in Cosford, England has been a staple of flight simulator fans' calendars for years. In the past, the event has always been a single day at the RAF Museum. 2019 will change that. In fact, you'll be able to enjoy the event twice as much. Confirmed today on Facebook, Flight Sim 2019 will take place over 2 days, October 5th through 6th, 2019. Yo, Spockatron.
Yeah.
More party time.
About time, eh? We've been saying this for the last couple of years that it's not long enough, because you've been there the last couple of years, Edson, as you know, and you don't have time to do all the conferences and the floor in one day. You can't do it. It's, especially with us, man, we hardly get round in an hour because we're stopped all the time. It's crazy. But yeah, do 2-day event is a great thing to do. On the downside of that, I'm kind of in your boat, Mr. Edson. My contract's changed. I don't get my annual bonus anymore, which I used that for the Flight Sim Expo. So whether I'm going to do the 2-day event is another thing, due to financial constrictions, because it's like 4 nights in a hotel, so and traveling, etc., etc. It might be logistically difficult for me, but I'm going to try and make it. Of course, I'm going to try and make it. It's still a long way out yet.
They're going to need to update their website. It's triggering me that they haven't.
Yeah,
it's all the 2018 stuff. And it's the largest 1-day Flight Sim event. And now they've announced too. So
right-click, inspect element, and change it.
Should we just change it for ourselves?
Yeah. You go and change it.
But yeah, it's a good thing. Hopefully it's hopefully they do that. It's
right there.
It on the
I know, but I can't. There you go.
No, it's not that one.
God
it's the
dang
one
it.
after.
Oh, the bubbles are right in the way.
There you go, guys. This is how you edit a website live.
Enter.
No, hold on.
That enter.
Oh, it's also jacked up.
Dude, you're so bad.
It's also
You're so bad at this.
The interface for the whatchamacallit is yeah, it's in the way. There we go. Hey!
There you go.
Hey, there we go. Yeah, so there we go. Sorted.
It's the largest 2-day event. Mr. Fairy Cake, Brian Crowley, how are you guys? So the thing with this show was this, is that, I mean, here are the numbers, right? Like 1,800 people, 35 exhibitors and more, and a complete day of talks. Like it was stacked. Like you come in the morning, you had like 1 hour free, and then they started and didn't end to the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah.
And so...
Also, do you know this? We were there last time, Edson. We were talking to the guy from Flight One who kind of organised the thing, and he was saying, "Well, we can't get these the
Flight One. You better say Just Flight."
Sorry, Just Flight. Yeah. The contributors that they won because of the floor space. We just don't have the floor space to get the people we want in. We can't get all these other guys in because they want prime real estate, etc., etc.
Of course.
Now there's a 2-day event. I'm sure those contributors, they're not going to do 2 days. They might be there for the Saturday. That slot opens up for another company for the Sunday.
So I don't know. No, setup time required to set up one of these booths, and you were there during setup. It's not something you're going to want to do 2 days straight. Like they're going to say, you come, you set your shit up on day 1, you're done. Like you break it down after day 2.
But hopefully they do, maybe move another aircraft out the hangar temporary and get some more booths in would be nice.
Yeah, they did talk about that possibility. However, the cost was just stupid. What this will allow, though, I don't think it's a space issue. I really don't. There was plenty of walking room, and there was plenty of exhibition space. What there wasn't at this event, year after year, is the ability to be in two places at once. That doesn't exist for anyone. And so the first year I went, I was so excited to be there. And I went to all the talks, all of them. Because I was like, oh, yeah, dude, this is where like everybody's going to be. It's all about the news, right? Let's go and hear the latest thing. And so I went to all the talks. And when I came back to this hangar, bro is dead. Everybody's breaking down. It's the end. There's no one to see and mingle with. So when I went back year 2, I said, I don't give a shit about the news. I don't give a shit about what gets announced. I don't care about new product announcement. I don't care about anything. I'm going to hear it all online anyways. I'm going to hear it on the floor anyways. So this year, I spent on the floor. But granted, there's still some cool things going on in the talks. Even some drama going on in the talks. And, you know, if you wanted to be a part of that, you couldn't because you can't be in two places at once. Hopefully, having 2 days changes that. Maybe there's talks only on one day, and one day is reserved only for the floor. And
we've experienced it at FS Expo, clearly. There was some drama over there, and we got to attend it. But at the same time, because it was 2 days, we didn't get to miss anyone on the show floor and talk to everyone that we needed to talk to. And weirdly enough, last year, because we were there the day before during setup time, we got to talk to a lot of people, a lot of developers, a lot of backdoor people that we kind of are interested into. And we had a social event as well that allowed us to connect with the people we wanted to connect with after the show. So I feel like for developers and exhibitors, there are two parts to this. There's the developer to developer part. There's like the kind of the social, how would you call this? Marketing, not marketing, but the
networking.
It's the industry stuff, the industry night, if you will. Yeah,
the industry moment when we need to exchange between companies. And there is the public facing event where you just walk on the floor and talk to people that own your product, know you from somewhere. And that's where we got to meet a lot of the people who watched the show. And it was great. You know, it's great every year to meet those people who watch us and that we know from name but don't see the faces of. It's a great moment. So it's good that we have the Friday, the industry Friday, and then we have the day to talk to people on the show floor. But again, the talks, a lot of things happen behind those doors that a lot of people want to see, but they, you got to prioritize. Having 2 days, I feel like will alleviate that. But one weird thing that we saw at FS Expo is that not a lot of people are going to the second day because logistics and hotels and stuff. Sometimes people cannot make it to the second day, but
that's common on expos too. It's fairly common, right? Like most people go to the one that's convenient. Most people don't go to both days unless you're in the industry, right? Mm-hmm. Because then you wait for the perfect opportunity to go and network with people, or the perfect opportunity to approach the streamer that you know but has been surrounded the whole time. Mm-hmm. And so most people pick the day that's convenient for them and go then. Mr. Crowley says, Mr. Crowley in the chat says, I think they need more exhibitors to lure me back. What do you guys think? Quantity of exhibitors.
I mean, the exhibitors they have, they tend to be the same ones every year. You know, the same people come back year after year, which is fine. You know, that's good.
But let's be real. Who wasn't there? Can you name someone that wasn't there?
Coronado.
Who? Coronado? They never had any of them.
Yeah, well,
they need to
they need to step up their game and show their public face.
Coronado was not at FS Expo, not with a booth.
They were
They
not
did
with
not
a
have a
booth,
booth.
They were there.
Exhibitor is the term. Exhibitor.
Right.
Name an exhibitor that's not PMD or Coronado, because they never show up anyways as a booth, that wasn't there.
Rex.
Yeah.
Rex was not at Cosford.
They were at FS Expo.
Why isn't
that's a good one.
Coronado
That's a great crossover one that
Why-
needs to happen.
But the thing is, Edson, why isn't Coronado there? Why isn't PMDG there? Is because they're too good, because they'll just get the sales anyway. They don't need to interact with the masses.
Yes.
No,
Well, the thing is,
you're a company. You should be out supporting your product and interacting with the people who buy your product.
the thing with
Be a face. Don't just be a company.
The thing with events like this is that if you think it's expensive as a customer to go there, it's 3 or 4 or 5 times that price for an exhibitor to get there. Just to get there,
right?
You also have a price for the table to pay, and it gets really expensive.
But this way though, Kevin, Orbex put out a booth last year. Do you think they made more sales having a public face and being on that shop floor than not being there?
Of course. It might not be in direct sales, it might be just in impressions.
But do you think...
I agree with you, it's absolutely worth it. But most companies don't think that way.
But do you think they had more sales than Robert Randazzo that flew in his private jet, walked in, spoke on stage, walked out, went to the airport and flew home? I don't know.
Dude, it's the impact and the visibility. Everyone still talked about it.
Yeah, some companies just have a comfort level that's so high.
Mr. Beast put a couple in, Hi-Fi and A2A.
Yeah.
True.
A2A.
A2A is always there, but never had a real booth.
Scott from A2A was at the Vegas show. He did turn up. And Lewis was at
America.
Cosford.
It's in America. You know,
but
companies
Lewis,
that are based
Lewis
in
Bloom
America...
Lewis Bloom was at the Cosford show representing the A2A. He had his hat on, you know, so they were representing, they just didn't have a booth.
Yeah, they don't have an exhibit. Yeah. I feel like American companies will go to the Vegas show and European companies will go to Cosford. And I feel like the reason for this is purely cost. A lot of the hardcore audience will go to both, or will go to the one that's closest to their home. And in terms of scale, they're kind of both important, you know?
Yeah. And honestly, the industry itself, when, for example, Scott walks around with his A2A shirt, why does he need a booth?
Yeah, he is the booth.
Right? Like, I'm A2A. Or Lewis, I'm A2A. And you start to wonder, like, is there genuine value in having the real estate that includes the table that you have to rent and the stand that you have to have made and transport and the electricity that you have to pay for? And in the US, the union labor that you have to pay for to get your shit set up. Now, that's not fact, but I can tell you from almost every expo I've been to in tech, unions set that shit up. You can't even set up your own booth. Somebody else has to set it up for you, and you pay them for that. But I mean, you know, as these events get bigger, the costs to expo, to display, to be an exhibitor is only going to get higher. And really, can this industry fully support that? Are there that many large companies looking to travel with gear and equipment and monitors and stands and pay for people to work the booth all day, etc.? Like, they don't do that for love. Got to get paid.
There's one thing that I remember from the expo, talking to Evan about, was the ability to live stream conferences. And
I hate it.
It's just, if you want the right to stream or record a conference, $5,000
Yeah.
from the hotel just
Yeah.
to the right, just to get the right to do that.
Yeah.
Gosford,
you
they don't
have to
give
pay
a
the
damn.
hotel.
Yeah, Gosford, they have a museum. They don't give a damn. And that's just fantastic because that allows us relatively small businesses to live stream our events. Well, we can't do that at FS Expo. $5,000.
Yeah.
See? So there are differences between the European version that we have right now and the American version that we have right now. Differences like these that makes it a bit annoying.
I agree. They're really big differences. They're really big differences. Well,
yeah, but you see, you know, you bring that that cost down to the individual. So, you know, when you got FS Elite or wherever, they want to cover the event, they want to live stream it, you say, well, you've got to pay up your share.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of that personally as a consumer and as somebody that cares for the livelihood of these events. I'm not a fan of letting anyone live stream the event. Now, live stream your session when you speak on stage, sure. But live stream the event, walking around, live streaming it. Fuck no. I wouldn't. If it was my event, I would not allow it. I'd be like, fuck no, you can't do that. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I did notice the last time we were there was a few times, you know, we were talking to a developer or something, and then before you know it, there's a microphone in your face. Or,
and I'll tell you why.
Camera there, and it's...
There are multiple reasons for this. Number one, I understand that some people are like, well, what if you can't go? Well, sure. If you can't go, support the news sites that are actually paying to attend to cover this for you to see it afterwards. But don't ruin it for the people holding the event by live streaming and broadcasting it to the world so no one has to pay to go to be there. Because honestly, why would we pay to go to be there when we can sit back and watch it in our underwear? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you gotta protect the nugget. And the nugget is the fact that if you're there, you're privy to some cool stuff. You're privy to some news, some releases, like Mr. Crowley says, being teased with future products. You're privy to all that by being there.
That's
live
why
streaming
people pay together.
Yeah, and getting together with other people. I think it's a beautiful thing. But not to say that you wouldn't find out all that stuff. You would. You'd find it out on the news sites afterwards. That's what they're
or
there
on the
for.
Spot.
Right.
They're quite rapid.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Or on the spot. Yeah,
kind of,
absolutely.
They're there.
Live blog.
So you're not missing out. You're not missing out. The only part you're missing out is being with people. You know, being with the people you see online, and that's 100% worth it.
There we go.
I'll attend all of those.
2-day event cost for this year. Very exciting, and I'm happy to see it's still there and not moving to another location because I love that location. Yeah. Absolutely love it. Next topic. This one submitted by Orbex. EGML. Oh, I'm gonna mess up the name.
You are.
Damins Hall? Damins Hall.
Just Dames Hall.
Dames Hall.
That was easy.
Dames Hall. Aerodrome in X-Plane 11.
Yes, I picked this up. Works perfectly with the Orbex Global South. Integrates beautifully into it. I love this airfield. It's a beautiful little airfield. It's just outside of London. Stone's throw away, literally a stone's throw away from London, and it's beautiful. Really nice. You're not going to get much in and out of there. You know, this is definitely Piper Carb, 172 country, grass strips. So don't expect to bring your biz jets to Dams Hall.
Question for you: is this the strip we're looking at down here at the bottom?
Yes,
that's pretty
right
dope.
There.
That's awesome. And speaking of a stone's throw, notice how all these markers are laid out. So organic. That's so nice. Yeah. So organic, dude. That's so nice. Ooh.
I love it, dude. Weeds.
Wow.
They're not weeds. They're flowers. That's British countryside. We don't have weeds.
Is that true, Mr. Crowley? I know you like to be in the garden.
They're called wildflowers. They're called wildflowers, not weeds.
Yeah, right. Someone asked about the date for the Cosford event, 5th and 6th of October.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a great. I think they do gliders here as well. I think it's a glider port. So if you're into your gliding, it's a good start point as well.
It's only logical. Elevation must be nice as well. I bet the runway's not flat, right?
It's definitely not flat. It's rough as old boots. I'm telling you, this is a bumpy one.
Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
But they've taken, you know, I forget who's doing their conversions. I think it's the guys at Turbulent. Am I correct saying that?
Not sure.
They've done a good job of bringing them over and color matching them to the GB South. Really done a good job. They seem to work so well.
We have confirmation from the chat. Mr. Crowley says, very true. The only weed here is producing smoke and happiness. And Mr. Fairy Cake chimes in, wildflowers, my friend.
Nice.
This is gorgeous. Is this a little restaurant? It looks like it is. Yeah. I would like to go here. Can we do that if we go this year? If it's outside of London.
Far.
Is it semi on the way to Cosford? Is it north of London?
It's kind of west.
Kind of west a bit. I'd like to leave early, go here for breakfast, and then head north.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We're renting a car like last year.
Yeah. Amazing. Wow.
Look at the hangar is actually 3D.
That's being illuminated or shadowed. Yeah. It's actual 3D. I love this. I love this amount of detail. The fins on the airplanes as well. The regs. The tracks on the ground.
Region. The tracks on the ground. There's a lot of detail on there that makes you feel at home. It's really, really great. I like that. Oh.
High output power lines.
Power lines.
High voltage.
Gotta have power lines.
Junk.
Lovely.
I love it.
Yeah.
Junk sells it. Junk sells it. These pallets are the exact same pallet, though. You can see that little pattern work right there.
Don't say it.
I know. Now you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
I love signage as well. Signage sells it.
Now, I have a little nugget because when I actually did purchase this from Orbex, I went opened up the Orbex thing, and it's like, oh, damn, Saul's available. I did notice there was 2 other airports there as well, but they weren't available to buy yet. But they put them up and they've pulled them now. And the other one was Popham. And there's I can't remember what the other one was, but one of the other ones was Popham. So they will be coming soon. So keep your eyes peeled because it looks like they've got them ready to go, but they're just not ready to buy yet.
Oh, he's been impaled.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's gonna hurt.
That's gonna hurt.
Right in the rib.
I must say the hands are not too bad on this one. I give him props.
That's real good.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
What's wrong with my hand?
B-Sky Labs.
I like that little airplane too.
And also, Edson, wording. This is not an airport. It's not an airfield. It's an aerodrome.
Aerodrome.
Do you know the difference?
I don't.
Why it's called an aerodrome? Sparky, do you know?
Just because it's a drone, not a field.
It is a field.
There is a good distinction. I don't remember it on the top of my head. I know I learned it a long time ago. There's a good distinction between them.
It looks like this also is treated as a field. Look at this crossway.
Yes. Yeah, there is a slight coming towards those woods.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah,
This shot is
beautiful little
nice.
airfield.
Excellent. Dames Hall Aerodrome. Now out for X-Play in 11, thanks to Orbex. Sparky, great choices. Thank you, sir. And now, on the mind. P3D 4.5 confirmed, and terrific news for all simmers, especially ... This one's submitted by EM1973 as well. He's hot on the topics, Mr. EM. Thank you. Guys, just a reminder, all of these topics, all of them are user submitted. That means you. And without you submitting topics, we have nothing to talk about. So if you're out there angry at us because we're not talking about something, it's probably because you didn't submit it. So please head over to the skylounge.tv. You can also use onapproach.tv and submit your topics right away. I almost said tacos. I'm hungry, I think.
You want a taco?
Submit your tacos right away.
It's as hungry you can tell.
This is an
Thinking about
interesting
food.
post on the Orbex forum. It confirms that 4.5 is about to enter beta. I say beta, you say beta. And it will help with long load times. It doesn't seem that long ago since 4.4 was released. Lockheed Martin seems to be working hard on the sim. Background. It's been long known that flight load times on FSX and P3D systems gradually start to slow down as more and more third-party products are installed. The load time increases are especially noticeable with products like City Scene Orlando, which has hundreds of thousands of custom object models. Since the release of City Scene Orlando, we've been trying to address the issue on two fronts. Number one, bring the issue to the attention of P3D developers at Lockheed Martin, with the hope that this is something they can address in the future. Number two, work on our own end to provide more scenery configs available to the user for improving load time, memory, and performance tweaking. Of course, while number two can help, it appeared that any real benefit for now and the future may need to come from number one. Blah, blah, blah received some exciting news from Adam Breed at Lockheed Martin, communicating over the last few weeks regarding the load time issue with large scenery packages when a user has a lot of object libraries installed from third-party add-ons. They've potentially identified the anomaly and will be addressing it in 4.5. And the beta for 4.5 should be out in about a week. That's a bit of a fast track from 4.4 to 4.5. And it's great
Not
news
really.
on the
It's been
load
out for a
time.
while. It's been out for a while, 4.4 already. It was a few months out. We're due for an update.
God, that means he's going to break all the things again.
It's a 2-week process.
It's going to break all the things again. And we're still just getting updates for 4.4 compatibility.
Yeah.
So recently I installed the True Earth Great Britain South by Orbex, and my 6%, like the guys in the Discord played a couple matches of the video game they were playing. I watched a ton of YouTube videos, like almost a dozen, and it was still at 6%. It was almost 20 real minutes of 6%.
I agree. It's the same for me, Edson.
And it did it again after reboot. It did it again after any kind of troubleshooting. It was 6% for life. Like you could get a tattoo. and then unfortunately, whoever gets that tattoo, please submit photos. 6% for life. And unfortunately, then the product itself for me did not perform. It was Blur City. It was like mushy peas on my plate within a minute of flight, 2 minutes of flight, in anything that was flying above 120 knots. Blur City instantly. So I uninstalled the product. My 6%.
I haven't uninstalled it. I haven't uninstalled it. I've just disabled it until the SIM's.
Oh, uninstall it and enjoy your 6% shortened.
No, the 6% is back to normal. It's back to normal because it's not.
Yeah.
You know, I just unticked it. It's not seeing that anymore. But it's still there. I haven't actually physically uninstalled it.
I did end up fully removing it. And it seems I'm not alone. I'm not alone in that experience with Great Britain South.
Could that be the reason why they pushed it for so long? And it just ended up being like, we have optimized it as much as we could. Let's just push it out and see what people can do with it.
Maybe.
And it's not. To be honest, I don't think it's the limitations of Orbex or what they've done. You know, obviously they've optimized it as much as it is. It's a limitation of the SIM. The SIM's just too old to. You know, it just can't pull that data fast enough. It's an old system. I mean, I have GB South for X-Plane, which is obviously new tech. It's you know, it's constantly being refined and worked on, and it's butter. It's absolute butter. It's just because it's running on an old FSX core. That's the be all and end all of it.
My question, I guess, is more of, have they given up on waiting for 4.5 before releasing it?
I totally get your angle. I totally do. The way I explained it live was, there's nothing wrong with the product. I don't believe there's anything wrong with the product itself. I believe that our SIM isn't ready for the product. Does that make sense? Like, our SIM isn't ready to handle that yet.
That's what I feel as well. But
I think
I don't even know. Fine. I don't even know if it will be ready as well. It depends on how much Lockheed is willing to work with Orbex into fixing the inherent issues that are there since FSX, you know, in terms of scenery loading and scenery optimization. Because we've seen it on X-Plane. Works great on X-Plane. And I guess that's the reason why they released it first on X-Plane, because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe at the beginning it was supposed to be a P3D first.
Yeah. And perhaps it's that they just were like, this delay is too much and we can't wait for 4 or 5 to be out, or 5 to be out. Let's just put it out.
And they want to wrap the entire planet with it, so I'm wondering where it's gonna go.
I'll tell you what, I would trust the planet wrapped in X-Plane more than I trust London wrapped in P3D.
Yeah.
You know?
True. Yeah. We'll see it on X-Plane first.
Yeah.
I'm glad of that, actually. It's just an argument in favor of X-Plane again.
So the cool thing is that they, you know, they mention this kind of dual approach to this. One, attack it from the sim side. Two, attack it internally as well. And the nice thing is there is a patch coming for the city scene package that's going to bring alternate configs that you can run. Optimizations and some fixes for jetways and stuff like that too. So it's nice to see that they didn't just kind of say, well, it is what it is, right? They're still working on optimizing these products, and that includes the city scene, that includes the True Earth lines.
It's good. I actually installed City Scene Orlando earlier today. I've not tried it yet, but I'm curious to see because I've never tried their City Scene areas. So I'll be giving it a try. I'm curious to see how good it looks.
Maybe I'll fly into there tomorrow. That could be tomorrow morning's show. Fly out there.
Interesting.
Yeah. Cool. Alrighty. My second topic. FSim Studios Cancun release. This one submitted by EM1973. So we talked about this one coming in last week's show. And you all know I love sceneries because I love to go to places around the world that are not the common places. I saw this one. It came in what I call the $20 club. That means under $20. The visuals looked incredible, but I did not expect an airport this large for the $20 club. Like, I did not expect something this large and beautiful. Dude, there are parallel runways here. And with Ultimate Traffic Live, I landed next to another plane on the other runway. ATC brought me in on 30, brought him in, or her, on the alternate runway. And it was an amazing experience. Not only do you get the airport, but over the next month or so, they will also release the entire Cancun hotel strip at no extra cost. Fully modeled, lit, the whole nine. So you'll have this whole coastline done up. And that's going to come as an update, adding to that immersion as you come in. When I was landing here, I think Mr. Tarpoon was in the channel, and he commented, he's like, this is large like Oslo. And I was like, yeah, actually it is. The taxi was forever because I landed way over here. And as you can see, all the parking is way over here. So I got brought all the way around and parked up over here. Long taxi. Great, great value for under $20. Quality? So the performance was incredible.
So that airport is I know is very popular for tourism. There's a lot of beaches, a lot of resorts out there. Is it as popular in the US as it probably is for us in
I would say it's probably more American tourists Cancun than anyone else. I would.
Right. Because we have a lot of choices when we're shopping to travel and go for a week on the beach here. We got Cuba, we got Mexico, we got Dominican Republic, and we have a few other areas in that region.
I'm pretty confident in saying that when people are planning their holidays from the UK, Cancun doesn't come up on the radar.
Oh no. Where did they go? Caribbean or
the Caribbean, Jamaica, right. Places like that. But who's gonna think of? Let's go to Cancun. It just doesn't flow off the top of the head, does it?
You don't know what's in Cancun. Very nice places, good resorts.
As far as scenery, as far as environment, I flew out to Cancun. And again, to me, it's synonymous with holiday. It's synonymous with get away to the beach. Yes. This type of approach is not what I expected. This was real time, so winter season in Cancun. I was not expecting fog at 1500 like this, but it made it very exciting. It really did. Not at all what I expected flying into Cancun, but it was so damn cool, man. I flew out here from Texas, right? I think. There's my parallel approach.
You had a video comparison of it.
Sorry, Kevin.
Of what, Kevin?
You had a video of that approach, right? A comparison with real life, because I think you had the Metar from.
Oh no, that was for my flight out to William Hobby in Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind then. Go on, Sparky.
Yeah, I was saying for $20 it seems like very, very good value. Very good value.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because we know, you can pick up these large airports now and they're going to cost you 30, 40 bucks a pop. And plus the expansion they're going to give you for free. It's all good. I think that's.
And the tower is sponsored by Corona.
Oh, and we get free Coronas. I forget about that. Yeah, Coronas for everybody.
Coronas for everyone. The tower is sponsored. No, absolutely beautiful airport. I love details. So things like this, I'm all about it. 1999.
Can I ask Edson what their airline is? What's the carrier that uses that airport?
Aeromexico, I think it is.
Aeromexico.
Mm-hmm.
Would you get
full
lot
dynamic
in there?
lighting there?
Would you get lot in there? The hauler. Is it lot?
LOT. I've seen
there's
them
probably
there.
LOT too.
Yeah, because I've been to Cancun, so I've seen some of the airlines that they have there. They have Vueling.
Yeah, Vueling too. Yeah,
lot. They have some British Airways. They had Virgin. Was it Virgin America back then?
It's the #1 bestseller on Sim Market. Hey, we beat the
Of course it
algorithm.
is.
Of course it is.
Yeah,
we're on the page. Thomas Cook, Sparky.
Yeah,
Thomas Cook, big holiday operator out here in the UK.
American Delta. TUI.
Yeah,
More TUI.
That's cool. 3D grass and everything as well.
Mm-hmm. The whole 9,
bucks.
bro. And a performance
20 euros.
The performance was A+. A+.
What is that in English, Edson?
In English pounds, it would be 17.96.
What about US dollars?
18
in
quid.
US dollars, 23.
That's nothing. Nothing.
So it's
very good.
Technically
5-star
speaking,
review.
just outside of the $20 club, but I just look at this like US dollars. I'm just stuck in that world. All right. And now, on to Mr. Kevin stories. X-Plane live Q&A, February 2019. What do we have here?
See, you can start playing it while I explain it. It's kind of worth it.
Sure.
So the in a very good example of how to communicate with your community, I think Laminar is kind of up there. I don't recall seeing another company that does those kinds of things, live Q&A every once in a while. And Laminar, what they like to do is get together once every few months to kind of learn where everyone's at. Leave it run, man. You can't skip it.
Well, it's like 4 minutes of dead air.
5 minutes of looking at a pavement.
That's their intro. Fucking brilliant, man. Turn on the sound. You gotta turn on the sound. They're just running in. Like we're late for the cast. We're late for the cast. Super nerdy intro. Love it. So yeah, Laminar does that once every few months when they all get together, talk about their projects, and when they're done, they they make a Q&A on YouTube. And and they answer a lot of the community's questions, a lot of the things that they're working on.
I'm glad they gave that guy a crash helmet. I'm glad they gave him a crash helmet because if he'd
they did pull in there fast. They did.
They're nice chaps, you know. For talking to them at conferences, they're so passionate about what they're doing.
Damn, bro, I gotta say that stash is on Tom Selleck level now, bro. Wow,
he knows about the stash. Yeah, Mr. Austin. So here's a recap of. I've made a few notes here. I ran through it. I listened to the whole thing last night in my bed, and I was like taking it all in. It was a few hours of. How long was it? I don't even know. I think 2 hours. They talked about a lot of stuff, but everything was interesting because I'm kind of a nerd person.
Look at his nervousness. So look at his nerves. His foot was like 1,000,000 miles an hour right there. I can't unsee it now. Like I gotta cover his foot for a second. I gotta cover his foot for a second, bro. I can't. Okay, go ahead.
So here's what they talked about. A lot of things about Vulcan happening in the background. Ben, which is the guy that's sitting right in the middle, is kind of in charge of visuals and a lot of things on the X-Plane side. So they're essentially rewriting most of the X-Plane code to centralize all of the rendering and multi-threading happening so that they can code things for Vulcan for Metal, which is the Mac OS and iOS equivalent to Vulcan, which are rendering engines. So they're kind of centralizing everything so that they can plug any kind of rendering engine on it. If there's anything that comes out in the future, they don't have to recode the entire thing to support it, which is kind of brilliant. It takes a lot of time. So that's why like Vulcan came in years ago, but we're still not with a finished version of X-Plane on Vulcan. But they're getting there. So from what I said during that presentation, they got Plane Maker working with Vulcan, and they're pushing it out kind of soon. And it's the first step into making the sim fully compatible with Vulcan.
Yeah, what I got from this, Kevin, is because I watched this as well, and the way they explained it and that I got out of it, it's going to be like a library or a hub where the Vulcan will sit in one place with all the information that you'll ever need in it, and you will call to that hub, no matter where it's coming from, whether it's a scenery, a plane, or whatever. It'll all call from that one hub, and all the information will be there, and it will sit in the background. It won't be so it's not gonna. One thing they did say, when a scenery loads, it will call it in the background, so you'll never get a stutter.
That's the multi-threading thing.
3D. Yeah,
there's two different things. You got the rendering engine, which is Vulkan, OpenGL, and Metal, and maybe some others. Those are called from a centralized location, which is kind of the hub that they talked about, or the I think they called it. And then you have the multi-threading, which is another thing in parallel. They're kind of intertwined together, but they're heavily rewriting it to be multi-threaded. So you don't have stutters. A lot of things happening in parallel, a lot of optimization happening. So they're in the process of rewriting that, and it's apparently going to come by the end of the year. Otherwise, a few heads will get chopped off, according to what they said. So I'm excited about that part. Another thing they talked about was the mobile crossover. So a lot of tech that they are designing on mobile, they're transitioning over to the desktop platform and vice versa. For example, the particle system they designed to be working on the mobile, and then they transitioned it to the desktop version. Their philosophy behind that is if it runs great on mobile, it'll just devour. It's just gonna destroy everything on.
It's an interesting
PC
way to develop
and Mac.
Mm.
Absolutely, and it's a great way I think to develop it, because essentially they're just the same platform. They're just the same on different devices. So they got a great platform for that. So that was an interesting tidbit. They got world scenery coming on mobile with pre-flight packing. So essentially you're packing only and you're downloading only the pieces of scenery that you need for the given flight, which is brilliant. A brilliant way to approach it. I don't think they talked about subscription or paid models or how they're going to handle this. My guess is that it's going to be included, but don't quote me on that. It could be different. It's kind of an interesting scene right now on mobile with Infinite Flight and all the other sims that are available on mobile.
Infinite Flight is a very big player.
It's a big player, but they kind of operate in a different way than X-Plane is operating. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see where they land with all of this. So that has been said. There's a new PT6 sound pack coming to King Air. They're gonna update that. 737 is getting its sound pack redone with Fmod as well. That's going to be shown at FS Expo.
I was expecting to see news that they just basically purchased the Zebo mod and just made it default or something.
That would have been great, wouldn't it? Maybe in the future, I don't know. It's already great as it is, the default one. There is going to be a landing competition at FS Expo. You might want to watch the stream again to get more info on that. Oh, yeah. Actually, they're probably going to make a blog post about it. Or
that's definitely one for me to enter.
Oh, yeah, they're going to.
For those of you that didn't see Sparky's show today, make sure to go watch the VOD. Scroll to the right before the end mark and enjoy the landing. But enjoy it from the ground, not inside the plane. Just trust me.
Beautiful landings as always, Mr. Sparky.
We did work out why that was actually, Edson.
Yeah.
We put it down to it's probably icing. Because Buck said when he came in, he did get ice warnings. So it was probably an icing issue.
Very likely.
Okay, sorry, Kevin. What else?
Another thing they talked about was bone animations. So apparently in the animation world, it's great to have bones you can animate. I don't do those, so I can't tell. But I hope we'll get better walking people in our Sims. Yeah.
With flat hands. With flat hands.
Yeah. Well, bones, they have bones in their hands too, so I guess they can move that as well. Anyway, it opens up a lot of possibilities apparently, so great. Awesome. Another thing they talked about was Austin working on float planes, and they're working on lateral collisions with piers and stuff like that. That's not new news. They actually talked about that in previous Q&As, but great to see that they're actually working on it. Real world weather. They're moving from a direct to NOAA servers to a self-owned Laminar research server for weather. Because
they've had nothing but trouble getting the calls to pick up weather. It's been an on and off bug for so long. They need to address.
So they're working on that right now. So that's going to come. Now, one of the big questions that was out there was obviously the RTX cards and ray tracing, right?
Right.
So I encourage everyone to go and watch.
For the 4 people that have them.
Yeah. I encourage everyone to go and see the actual Q&A segment about it. It's near the end. Ben goes in detail about it. Essentially, to sum it up, it's going to come in the future. But right now, the issue that that's out there is just the complexity of the scenes that we have to deal with on in the sim, right? The sheer scale of an entire city compared to, say, Battlefield, where they have only like a few hundred meters to deal with. So it's going to come eventually. They talked about having it on the cockpit first, and then maybe expanding it out to the outside. Again, just go and watch the segment about it. It's very interesting. My guess is that it's 5 years out. Who knows? Well, that's just my guess. And finally, the last thing noteworthy that they talked about was World Editor 2.0 was going to be released soon, and with the ability to put satellite imagery in the background without you having to do some crazy download and find and adjust thing. It's just going to be right there in the background.
That's pretty cool. And that's what enables users, the community, to build their own little airstrips and
push it around to the default gateway.
That's fantastic
for X-Plane. So beautiful. A very packed Q&A. I'm very pleased about where they're going right now with X-Plane. Super brilliant future ahead. I wish Lockheed did those Q&As every once in a while.
No, we just get Adam Breed walking around at an expo acting like
Benito.
He's supposed to be there and not wanting to be there. I kid, Adam.
Effect?
The last expo you were much better than the first, but the first, let's be real, you didn't want to be there. Up next, more PMDG 747 Queen of the Sky to PBR previews and update. This one submitted by Mr. EM 1973 as well. You are on it, EM.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
beautiful pictures.
Jesus.
Shiny.
Shiny. Real, didn't it? You wouldn't, if you didn't know it was a sim, you could be fooled.
It looks like the real thing.
You could be fooled.
Absolutely blown away.
Be fooled. Absolutely, you could be fooled.
Yeah. PMDG is always texturing and modeling work at its finest.
This is why they don't need a booth. I just want to say this is why they could pay for a booth. They could pay for all the booths and do nothing but put up one large print of this at every fucking booth and just dominate and just that's our booth.
Bring one piece of metal. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Plop it on the table.
Lord, look at that.
It's just magnificent. Look at the other pictures as well. Look absolutely fabulous.
I don't want to change. I don't want to change because it set the bar. What if the next one isn't as good? Let's just stare at this one. Oh man.
It looks the way it's supposed to look. Now the only thing that we need, the only other thing that we need now is good reflection models from Lockheed to get actual good looking reflections. And then we'll be done. We don't need more than this. Ray tracing is going to be the next frontier. That looks gorgeous.
The soft shadowing in the engines. What's up with that? Look at that.
Yeah.
Dude, that's soft. Nice.
There's nothing more to be said. I mean, it's just...
No, this can't happen soon enough, man.
Will you fly the 747, Mr. Eds?
I love the 747. The problem is that ever since not too long ago, every time I fly the 747, I get blurries underneath. And I don't know why. And it's only 747.
Optimization's rubbish.
Don't know what it is. Betty demolishes everything except flying the 747 over 300 knots.
4 engines too much for her.
Maybe.
You don't need to look at the ground when you're flying at 47,000 feet.
Yeah.
No, you don't. Well, Edson does.
I
Cinematic obliged.
Gotta get those shots. Gotta be crisp.
Yeah. We've already seen that one.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Good one.
Oh, that's a nice retro livery. I like that livery.
Ooh.
I love these. It's great. Just great. All over.
How long though, Kevin? How long,
I don't know.
You reckon?
Well, they said because they made an article on AvSim. That's where those pictures come from. And according to what they're saying, the beta for those texture changes, I don't know if it's going to be a bigger update, but the beta will be out soon. And apparently it's not going to be a very long beta progress. So, I don't know. I personally would expect them by the end of the month.
Yes,
I hope to see them by the end.
Looking forward.
I'd say.
That'd be freaking great.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the top news.
Oh, before you end up, I started loading my sim earlier. It's been 20 minutes.
Oh,
it's just done loading.
Yeah, see what I mean? What is it?
Great
What'd you
Britain
enable?
South.
Great Britain South? Yep.
20 minutes.
20 minutes. And he got the timer, ladies and gentlemen. The timer.
It's just done loading.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, we're on to worth mentioning. While we read worth mentioning, ladies and gentlemen, please, out there in live land, you start spitting out one-liner topics of conversation. And we'll pick one and address it. Or if we have a few minutes, we'll pick a couple and address it in short form. So please, if there's something that we have not discussed that you would like more information on, spit it out. FSE shows off haze effect in X-Plane. EasyDock Camera Professional V3 now released. And I gotta say, there's some pretty neat features in that, including some exclusive ones, like calling sim views from EasyDock. That means no menu to go to do a flyby. Pretty dope. Orbex, True Earth, they actually show the menu and a big X. Orbex True Earth Great Britain South release for P3D V4. Listen, if you've got 20 minutes to spare every time you launch your sim, install it. Golden Age Simulations releases Boeing Super Stearman package. That's a good looking plane. UK 2000 scenery Belfast International Extreme for X-Plane 11 now released. The Just Flight Duchess Model 76 gets an update to 1.6. K-Sun P3D 4.4 hits the final shots. You know what that means. It's right around the corner. MK Studios Lisbon now available for X-Plane 11. Mr. All's Flight Simmer, host right here on the SkyLounge.tv, posted a beautiful behind-the-scenes video over on his YouTube channel as far as going behind the scenes with all his setup and everything, and talking about what's next in 2019, as well as talking about his streaming here on the lounge for you all. Make sure to check that out. At the tail end of the video are some clips from the lounge that are absolutely hilarious. So head over, smack the like button, leave a comment. Flight One Software releases the new version of the GTN, officially supporting 4.4. See? We're just now getting the 4.4 stuff. And now 4.5's in beta.
GTN.
UK 2000 Bournemouth?
Correct.
Bournemouth released. First previews of Supercritical Simulations 747-8-8I V2 for X-Plane. Captain Sim releases the 757 Freighter for FSX and P3D V3. An update to MLA DG MiG-15 V2 for X-Plane. That's the MiG. Gaia Simulation Courchevel previews for X-Plane. This looks incredible. Hit the show notes and check out this link because, honest to God, it looks incredible. And last but not least, Imagine Sim cancels the Singapore City project and endorses the Sam Scenery project. Now, I want to take just a second of your time to highlight this.
Now I have the image sim Singapore, and it's a beautiful airfield.
Yes. So
And,
they did the airfield, and they were
yes.
going to do the city as well. But I want to highlight the awesomeness of this post. They were going to do the city as well. And Imagine Sim post, Singapore City, wow, by Samsung 3D. Another developer, a competitor, another developer. A fantastic shot of the new Singapore City add-on due soon from Samsung 3D. The sheer quality and coverage of this fabulous looking product has stopped our own Singapore City project in its tracks, and we will now be fully endorsing Samsung 3D's version instead.
Yes.
GG developers.
Well, it's you know why what's your analogy? You're the analogy guy, Mr. Edson.
Why reinvent the wheel? I don't know. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go. Reinvent the wheel. When a good product out there already, why try and do it yourself?
Yeah. Pretty awesome. I thought that was an awesome move. So bravo, Imagine Sim guys. All right. So it looks like there is a question from the live audience here regarding Montreal V2.
Let me take that one off your plate, Mr. Edson. I sent you a link on Discord. You might want to go and have a look at that. So that popped up today. It was sent to me by a few people from all places. And we've seen some previews of it previously, a few weeks ago. But then they actually released it with some new screenshots now. PBR windows, PBR ground for the wet parts, and modified terminals, modified ground layouts, to be up to date with the airport. Obviously, me living around that airport, or having lived around that airport for a long time, there are a few mistakes we can get from left and right. But overall, it's a massive upgrade. Very, very good indeed. Performance is absolutely amazing. And it's kind of the first touches of PBR that we're getting from Flight Tampa. So it looks superb. One thing I want to note, one thing I want to note from the screenshots, if you go to the wet ground.
Right here?
Well, there's
That's
another
wet
one at
night.
daytime.
That's incredible.
The reflection of the dynamic lighting on the ground is absolutely amazing across many, many angles. Yeah, that one. You see the water. You see the water droplets on the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like, what could be the worst tragic thing that Flight Tampa could have done with those?
That every single one is exactly the same.
How about they're not animated?
Oh, no. Come on.
You're going to have the ripple effect.
Can you turn off the look then?
I don't know. I have not explored that, but I don't even know if it's a bug or if it's an issue on my system.
Right.
But they're not animated on my system.
Oh, come on.
And that to me would be the most tragic thing they could do with this.
You might as well Photoshop the thumbnails to make the sales. I mean, it's just
Yeah. So
sad face.
You guys in the comments, if you got it, by the way, it's a $9 upgrade if you have the V1, and it's a $26 scenery, which is an absolute steal. I bought it on the spot because for the amount of things you get for that scenery is just absolutely mind-blowing. But you guys that got it, let me know if you're having that issue in the comments below, if the water droplets are animated.
I'll test it for you if you upgrade for me.
I do like the snowbanks.
There
snow
are
looks crazy. Snow looks amazing.
But that's another thing. There are snowbanks, but they are 3D objects on traditional ground layouts. So depending on the direction of the light, the reflections aren't good,
Right.
and you can definitely see the cutout of those 3D objects depending on the angle. Like the color of the object doesn't match the ground. So I've seen some issues with this, some issues with reflections on the ground with the PBR stuff. I hope it's going to get updated, but yeah, I've seen a few issues on the scenery, but overall, if I had to give it a score out of 10, it's probably like an 8 out of 10.
All right, right on. Fair enough.
Yeah, it's
Good
a very,
feedback.
very good update.
Good feedback. One more from
more.
the live chat there. Mr. Fairy Cake says, I would like to see a video in the future of your cockpits, what gear you use and your setup, etc. Maybe 1 week Smudge does his and then Maple Syrup can, the next, etc. What do you think? I like that. So I have to say,
perfectly doable.
Yeah, I was watching Osflight Simmers and I thought to myself, why have I never done that? and
I
then
can tell you one thing though. I can tell you one thing, Edson. My desk is not going to be as tidy as his.
God,
Sparky's
your
setup
desk
is just all over the
terrifies
place.
me.
We should. I don't know if we should make a special episode about it or if we should make one per week.
Yeah, something like that.
But I feel like we definitely have like a 10-minute each at least explaining everything that we have on our setups.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd love to do that though. It's a great idea.
I've built quite the production suite here over the years. And I think what it is that the reason I haven't done it yet is because I always feel like it's not done, right? Like there's always that one more thing. But I agree. You've got to just say, let's do it. Let's show it to the world. Patrons, you all have seen it because I've done plenty of kind of behind the scenes for you all. But yeah, I think it's about time to put something out to the public. Have a little behind the scenes. That'll be cool. We'll definitely take that one into discussion, Fairy Cake. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap up this show, episode 86. As always, please, if you hated this, hit the thumbs down. If you loved it, hit the thumbs up. If you want to see it keep going, please consider becoming a patron. It's how we're supported. We do not have sponsors here. No commercial support of any kind. It's all user supported. Same thing goes for topics. If you want to see something discussed, please head over to the skylounge.tv and submit that topic so we can choose it for next week. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, Sky 5.
Thanks for the 3 thumbs up, 4 thumbs up, by the way.
Yeah.